Learning a language isn't just about memorizing words and grammar rules, it also involves immersing yourself in real situations where language comes to life. One of the best ways to improve your English is through active listening, and this conversation between two travelers is a perfect resource to practice. I think I'm lost again. This city is so confusing.
Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here? All the other tables are full.
Oh, sure. Please, have a seat. I could use some company, this map isn't helping much.
Are you new to the city? You look like you're trying to figure out where you are.
Yeah, I just arrived yesterday. I'm from Canada, and this is my first time in Europe. I thought I'd start with a small town, but it's bigger than I expected.
Welcome to Europe. Where exactly are you from in Canada?
Thanks. I'm from Vancouver. Have you ever been there, Ampani? This map isn't helping much.
No, but I've heard it's beautiful. The mountains, the ocean, it sounds like paradise. What made you decide to come to Europe?
Well, I've always wanted to travel, but work kept me busy for years. Finally, I saved up enough money and decided to take a 3-month trip. My plan is to visit as many countries as possible: France, Italy, Spain, maybe even Eastern Europe. How about you? Are you traveling too?
Yes, I'm actually on a year-long journey. I quit my job back in Australia because I felt stuck in a routine. I needed something different, so here I am.
Wow, that's impressive. A whole year. Do you have an itinerary, or are you just winging it?
Mostly winging it. I started in Portugal, then moved to Morocco, and now I'm exploring Central Europe. It's been amazing, but also challenging sometimes. There are days when I feel completely lost, both literally and figuratively.
I know what you mean. Yesterday, I got off the train and had no idea which way to go. Luckily, people here are really friendly, they pointed me in the right direction.
That's one of the best things about traveling, isn't it? Meeting kind strangers who make your day easier. Speaking of which, have you tried any local food yet?
Not yet. I was planning to grab lunch after figuring out this map. Any recommendations?
Absolutely. There's a little restaurant around the corner that serves the most delicious goulash. It's a traditional dish here, kind of like a hearty stew. Perfect for cold weather.
That sounds perfect, I'm starving. Do you want to join me? We can continue chatting over food.
I'd love that. Let me just grab my bag.
Wow, everything looks good. Besides goulash, what else should I try?
Definitely try the schnitzel. It's breaded meat, usually pork or chicken, and it comes with potatoes or salad. Oh, and don't forget dessert, they have these amazing pastries filled with fruit or cream.
Yum, I'll save room for dessert. So, tell me more about your travels. What's been your favorite place so far?
That's a tough question. Each place has its own charm. In Morocco, the colors and smells of the markets were unforgettable. And in Lisbon, the sunsets over the Tagus River were breathtaking. But honestly, I think the people are what make each destination special. Everyone has a story to share.
That's true. I haven't met many locals yet, but the ones I've talked to seem really proud of their culture. They told me about some festivals happening next week. Have you heard about them?
Oh yes. The Spring Festival is happening downtown. There will be music, dancing, and lots of food stalls. If you're still here, we should go together.
That sounds like fun. I'll definitely stay until then. By the way, how do you manage your budget while traveling? I'm trying not to overspend, but it's hard.
I totally get that. One trick is to stay in hostels instead of hotels. They're cheaper, and you meet other travelers. Also, eating at local markets or street vendors saves a lot of money compared to restaurants. And walking instead of taking taxis helps too.
Good tips. I've been staying in Airbnbs, but maybe I'll switch to hostels soon. Do you have any advice for solo travelers like us?
Sure thing. First, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Second, always let someone know where you're going, whether it's family back home or a friend you made along the way. And lastly, embrace the unexpected. Sometimes the best memories come from things that don't go according to plan.
Wise words. I'll keep those in mind. Hey, since you've been traveling longer than me, do you have any dream destinations left on your list?
Oh, plenty. I'd love to visit Japan someday. The mix of ancient traditions and modern technology fascinates me. And Iceland, for the landscapes and northern lights. What about you?
Japan is high on my list too. I've always been fascinated by their attention to detail and respect for nature. Closer to home, I'd love to explore Patagonia in South America. The hiking trails there look incredible.
Those sound like amazing places. Maybe one day our paths will cross again in one of them.
That would be awesome. Who knows? For now, cheers to new adventures.
Cheers to that. Here's to getting lost, finding our way, and making unforgettable memories.
You know, one thing I've noticed while traveling is how much it changes your perspective on life. Back home, I used to stress about little things, deadlines, traffic, even the weather. But now, being in a completely different environment, those worries seem so small.
I couldn't agree more. Traveling has taught me to live in the moment and appreciate the simple things. Like today, for example, I woke up early just to watch the sunrise from a hill outside town. It was freezing, but the view made it worth every second.
That's beautiful. I haven't done anything like that yet, but I'd love to try. Do you think it's easier to connect with nature when you're traveling?
Definitely. When you're constantly surrounded by skyscrapers and concrete back home, it's easy to forget how vast and incredible the natural world is. On the road, though, you're forced to slow down and notice things, whether it's a quiet forest trail or the sound of waves crashing against rocks.
That makes sense. I've always loved hiking, but I haven't had much time for it lately. Maybe this trip will inspire me to prioritize outdoor adventures when I get back home.
Absolutely. And who knows? Maybe you'll discover a new passion along the way. For me, photography became a huge part of my travels. At first, I only took pictures to remember places, but now I see it as an art form, a way to capture emotions and stories.
That's amazing. Do you use a professional camera, or do you rely on your phone?
I started with my phone, but eventually invested in a DSLR. It's heavier to carry around, but the quality is worth it. Plus, it's a great conversation starter. People often ask me what I'm shooting, and that leads to interesting interactions.
I should probably take my photography more seriously. Right now, all my photos are selfies in front of landmarks. Not very creative, huh?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with selfies. But if you want to step it up, try focusing on details, textures, patterns, reflections. Sometimes the smallest things tell the biggest stories.
Thanks for the tip. I'll give it a shot. Speaking of shots, have you ever had any scary moments while traveling?
Not too many, thankfully. But there was one time in Morocco when I accidentally got on the wrong bus. I ended up in a tiny village where no one spoke English. I had to rely on gestures and Google Translate to find my way back.
Oh wow, that must have been nerve-wracking.
It was at first, but looking back, it was also kind of fun. The villagers were incredibly welcoming, and they invited me into their homes for tea. It reminded me that kindness transcends language barriers.
That's such a positive way to look at it. I guess challenges can sometimes turn into blessings.
Exactly. Of course, it's important to stay safe and be cautious, but don't let fear stop you from exploring. Some of the best experiences come from stepping out of your comfort zone.
Wise advice. I'll keep that in mind, especially since I'm planning to visit some off-the-beaten-path destinations. What about you? Any hidden gems you've discovered recently?
Actually, yes. A few weeks ago, I stumbled upon a small medieval village tucked away in the hills. It wasn't listed in any guidebooks, and there were hardly any tourists. Just cobblestone streets, ancient churches, and locals playing music in the square. It felt like stepping back in time.
That sounds magical. How did you even find it?
Pure luck, really. I was chatting with a shopkeeper in another town, and she mentioned it casually. Sometimes the best discoveries happen when you least expect them.
That's inspiring. I need to start talking to more locals. It seems like the key to unlocking hidden treasures.
Definitely. Locals always know the best spots. They might recommend a random cafe or a secret viewpoint that you'd never find on your own.
True. And speaking of cafes, this one is pretty charming. Thanks for suggesting it earlier. I might come back tomorrow to write in my journal.
Oh, you keep a travel journal?
Yeah, sort of. I jot down thoughts, sketches, and little notes about each place I visit. It helps me process everything and remember the details later.
That's wonderful. I wish I'd kept a journal during my first few months of traveling. Now I mostly rely on photos and memories, which aren't always reliable.
I hear you. Memories fade over time, but writing them down makes them feel permanent. Plus, it's nice to reflect on how far you've come, both physically and emotionally.
So true. Traveling isn't just about moving from one place to another, it's also about growing as a person. Every experience shapes you in some way.
Agreed. And honestly, meeting someone like you today has already added so much value to my trip. It's nice to share stories and learn from each other.
Likewise. Meeting fellow travelers reminds me why I started this journey in the first place, to connect with people and explore the world together.
Well, here's to many more connections and adventures ahead.
Cheers to that. And hey, if our paths cross again someday, maybe we can team up and explore a new destination together.
I'd love that. Until then, safe travels, Sophie.
Safe travels to you too, Alex. Take care.